Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we're going to talk about what we did yesterday, including how did Luto go? Was it good? Was it scary? Was it weird? Did anyone care? We'll discuss. Plus, the return of GTA 4 last night was a big question mark. Did it go well? And was it supported well enough that it looks like it may come back to the day streams? We'll talk about that. In addition, I've been hearing some weird rumblings, rumors, and nonsense, and I just want to talk with you guys about it and address it because I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I'm serious. So might as well just get it out now and get rid of this crap from the public discussion. Outside of that, there's not a lot going on today. So if we end up having not a lot to talk about, we can have a shorter show, and that would give more time for the bonanza because today Donkey Kong Bonanza continues, and we want to get maximum progress. So, sit back and relax. It's time for another awesome and chill episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Attention! The games are about to begin. All hail the king!
I wish it faded out more, but it always stops playing when I go over to the main scene. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast for Monday, the 28th of July, 2025. We are in the final countdown for July. Yeah, we're almost into August, and I hope that you guys are having a good summer. So far, I am. Outside of the chaotic week that I had with nonsense going on this month. Outside of that, things have been going good. All the streams are great. We're having a great chill time, right? It's actually a rarity, and I think hopefully we can keep this up forever, I would hope. But remember, the summertime used to be the dead time, the downtime. We didn't know what was going on during the summer because there was never a lot of game releases. And because of that, we would basically be, how can I say, bored and or looking for filler content, right? And basically, that's not the case anymore. Why? I'll tell you why. It's simply because we have a PC now that I can play so many different games of any genre, indie games, bigger games, games I've missed, remastered versions, modded versions, right? Like one of the big, awesome playthroughs I'm doing right now is GTA 4 with mods, which looks totally different and plays a little different. And that's awesome. That's a game that maybe if I just played it again on a console, no one would care. But because it's a redoing of that playthrough with better improvements, it makes it look better, right? There you go. So, I'm excited for the rest of the summer. It used to be we sit around and not knowing, gee, what's the next thing I do? We're out of content. What do we do? Now it's like we have too much content. There's so much going on. I'm backlogged. Right now people are like, when are you going to start RoboCop? I don't know. Not yet. That's for sure. We got to keep doing what we're doing. When's Tony Hawk start? Well, I do have an answer for that. We're going to try Tony Hawk 3 and 4 tomorrow. We're going to give it a go and see if it works and if you guys like it or not. It is, it's on Game Pass, so it's not a big deal. If we play it and then it ends up not working, I don't know if it will or not. I feel like at least one or two, streams will work for Tony Hawk, but it may get repetitive and grindy and boring depending on, how much content there is in there. If it really is just the same as the last one, which is go to a map, ride the half pipe, ride around, do some optional challenges, get your points, unlock challenges, and unlock the next stage, and just go to the next one. That'll be fun for a little bit, but I don't know. Like when I played Tony Hawk 1 and 2 collection, I really liked it, but I remember when I got halfway through, people started to complain that, oh, this is boring now because you're not sucking at it. And I was like, so let me get this straight. If I play Tony Hawk and I suck at it, you all make fun of me and laugh and say that it's terrible content because I suck at games. So then I actually got decent at it and it was doing well, and I actually got all the way through the game, unlocked the secret map, beat the secret map and everything. Oh, that's boring because I'm doing well. So no matter what, it's bad, right? That's what I mean. Like no matter what, you get this mentality of toxic people who just are never satisfied with anything you do, right? So I want to give it a shot and see how it goes tomorrow. So we got that going on. And then, of course, the next month, we've got Mafia, the Old Country. At the end of August, we've got quite a lot of new things going on. So it's actually a packed summer. Like we have nonstop stuff to do. I'm in the midst of playthroughs that are taking a long time to get through. That's a good thing. It really is. It means that there's content and there's no dead time. So I'm excited to see where things go. And that's the thing. Even if things don't work out, let's say we play Tony Hawk 3 and 4 tomorrow, and within 1 or 2 streams we're bored of it. It's fine. There's a million other things that we're waiting to do. So it's all good, man. Really. It's all good. I'm excited for the rest of the summer. I hope that you guys are too. By the way, my microphone colors are wrong. I think what happened was I had to restart my computer. And when I did that, it actually reset some stuff. Yeah, it did. Look. 'Cause I wanted my microphone to be yellow for Donkey Kong today. Hold on one second. Let's see if this fixes it. Nope. See, that's wrong. That's green, not yellow. Anyway, I hope that you're all doing well. We got a few things to talk about this morning. Primarily, I would like to give everyone an update on how stuff went, yesterday with the new games that we played. That's better. There we go. That's true yellow and red. Nice. I always like to color coordinate my microphone for whatever game I'm playing. I'm not kidding. So you notice it's yellow now. So yellow for the yellow and red for Donkey Kong. There you go. So yeah, I want to talk about Luto. I want to talk about what happened with GTA 4. And I guess people are saying there is something going on. I don't know if it's with Keemstar or Lalcal Live. I'd like to ask you because I literally have no clue. Like, I literally have no idea what's going on. So I'd like to talk with you guys about it and try to figure it out. Okay? Cool. So what's going on this morning, everyone? How is everyone today? Who do we got here today? We got Dr. Jedi, Johnny Zudo, Shane, Captain DCW, Copium, how you doing? Orange Man Good, Tangy Savory Seasonings over on Kick here. So Shane is saying, just so you know, none of the other games are as good as Tony Hawk 1 and 2. If they're not even close, those two are the best. I mean, so there you have it. That apparently is from someone who has experience with the Tony Hawk series. I don't. I never played them back in the day. I loved the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 collection. I thought they were great. But a lot of people got bored of me playing them about halfway through. So all right, we'll talk about that then. People are telling me what this. We'll talk about it in a second. All right. Thank you for giving me the update. I'll ask publicly too, and we'll address this. It'll be part of the show today. I have no idea what anyone's talking about. I'm serious. I literally have no idea what anyone's talking about. All right. Okay. So what else? Because I got distracted here because I was going to read what Captain DCW said. He said he bought Hitman 1, 2, and 3 for Switch 2. Oh, really? I wonder. So, I would like to hear from you, Captain. Everyone has said that collection does not perform well on Switch 2. They're saying that it sees big frame rate drops and issues, but maybe that's just people talking junk about the Switch 2. Who knows? I'm curious how it performs. Let me know when you start playing it if you like it or not. Bonos Temo says 3 and 4 of Tony Hawk have good maps. Don't listen to these people. Chris, how are you this morning? How you doing? All right, what I'd like to do is talk about the two things from yesterday that were new. Then we'll talk a little bit about what we're doing today, and then I guess we'll address this, whatever it is. I don't even know. We'll get the full story of people bringing up my name, people invoking the name of the king. What happens is sometimes things get slow, things in life get boring, and when that happens, you must invoke the name of the king DSP, because then somehow people pay attention to you. Don't ask me why or how, but it seems like this happens from time to time. So I guess we'll talk about it, because I don't even know what's going on. I'd like to hear it from you guys. All right. Okay. So yesterday we started a new game called Luto. All right. And Luto is a indie game that I think right now, is it only on PC? No, because I remember they said that Ludo is cross-platform. They had said that they were delaying the release on Xbox because there was a weird bug on Xbox that was causing the game to have issues, and they were trying to get the patch certified to release on Xbox Store. And there was some rigmarole there where they couldn't get it live right away, so there was a delay there. Okay, so it is cross-platform. Or I'm playing it on PC, and what is Ludo? Well, that's a good question, because they said that it was a game about like horror and stuff. To be honest, I'm about 2 to 2.5 hours in. I'm not sure what the game's about yet. I'm not. What happens is you start off, excuse me, in a desert, which makes no sense. Then you end up in a house. And you're walking through this house, and it seems very milquetoast and boring. It just looks like a normal house. Some of the doors are locked, and you're trying to figure out who you are, and you grab keys, and you go outside the door, and then it says, oh, now it's the next day. Okay, and then the same thing happens again. Slowly but surely, as you start to go through all of their loops of gameplay, you start to notice little changes, little nuances, little differences. Oh, there's a piece of paper here with like an article on it, or the phone rings and something happens there. Okay. Eventually, after several loops, you end up in the basement and you find a secret passage. When you go through that passage, you end up in your house, but it's not your house. What do I mean? Well, basically, it's the same contents of what was inside of your home, only it's a completely different building layout. So what's going on? Why could there be a second version of your house hidden in a passage under your house? It doesn't make any sense. Kind of reminds me of like, what was it? The movie Cabin in the Woods, where there's a cabin that's shifting and transforming to mess with people while they're in it. Which is kind of an interesting concept, right? Is it someone who's just being messed with? Or is the person crazy? Or is something truly supernatural happening? Because there's actually hints that there's a ghost in the house, or there's a presence in the house that has control over you. And then basically there's a narrator, but you don't know who the narrator is. And then you start getting mysterious phone calls, and you don't know who's on the phone. So it's really weird. And basically in the 2.5 hours, there were jump scares with ghosts. There were many puzzles, interesting things you had to figure out regarding sketches and finding hidden clocks and figuring out a secret code so you could call a phone number, and then figuring out how to get hidden items that were like, either hanging from a chandelier or hidden behind a painting on a wall, stuff like that. Was there ever any true horror? No. So far, I'm 2.5 hours in. There is no real horror yet in the game, meaning there's no gore, there's no monster coming after you or anything like that. It's a lot of suspense. It's a lot of psychological horror. It's a lot of buildup. Is something eventually going to happen or not? You don't know. I compare it to the feeling the very first time ever that I played the game Gone Home. Now, that was like a decade ago, but that was the true first walking simulator that I ever played. And since that game, there's been a bajillion games that follow that formula. Yeah, this game does too. And it's that same feeling of ominous, weird confusion and dread. Is there something malicious and ominous going on? Or is it just you're crazy? Or, what's actually happening? You don't know. So that's what's interesting about the game. So about 2.5 hours in, the funny part is people online are basically saying, well, you could beat the game in 3 hours. Well, I think that's true, but I think you can beat it in 3 hours if you know the whole plot and you know what you're doing and you know how to immediately solve every puzzle. I don't. So I'm 2.5 hours in. I would bet it's probably going to be one more major gameplay stream to beat this game. And I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen the further into the game that you get. I am. Will there actually be horror near the end, or is it just the same kind of feeling the whole game, and at the end is just like a surprise drop ending, or will they explain what's going on? I don't know. For the record, it is a cheap game. It's on sale on Steam right now for $18. I think normal price is like $20. So it's not like, oh my God, break the bank, insanely expensive or anything like that. So yeah. So anyway, I like it. Now, here's the thing. The audience was torn. Some people actually liked the game. Others were kind of like on the fence and not sure what to make of it. And others just absolutely hated it and said it was super boring. Okay. So I don't know what, overall, the reception. I can tell you this, it's not getting many views on the channel. Like, I took a look at the videos overnight. Not many views or people even commenting at all. I don't think people are really caring too much about the game. I mean, it is a small scale indie style game. It wasn't anything that got a lot of coverage. So I'm not sure a lot of people don't even know that the game exists. Now, in regards to support, decent support, but we didn't hit the support goal, but I'm not upset. I think I made about $100. Listen, I'm playing a small indie suspense game or whatever you want to call it. I knew I wasn't going to bring numbers for that. I wanted to do something different in the schedule, and I think it's working. I'm okay with that. It is only a 2-stream game, and we're done with it. So it's not like, oh no, I've committed to a 20-hour playthrough of a game that I didn't hit my support goal. So I'm not upset, and I'm not freaking out. Sucks that it was the first stream back for my new streaming week, and we didn't hit the goal. But in general, it's not a big deal. The sky is not falling. All is not lost. Woe is not me. We're okay. I'm okay with that. I'm thank anyone who was there for the stream and did support it. If you're watching it after the fact, I hope you enjoy it. And I certainly hope that you will tune in next week, because I will continue that on a day stream next week and wrap up that playthrough. Jasper Kitty, are you coming in or what? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's in the window. He's got his head peeked out between the curtains, and he looks like he's going to jump in. He finally jumped in. There we go. He's being silly. He's like peeking all around the room from out there. Like, what are you doing? So Jasper Kitty's here today. Hello, Jasper. Come on over. Jasper Kitty. Come over here, buddy. People want to see you. People love seeing you on camera. Will you jump on the chair? Will you jump on the chair so people can see you, or will you come up here so people can see you? No, he turned around. He might jump up later. You know him. You guys know Jasper. He does what he wants. Some days he's very energetic and he wants to jump in and be a part of the fun, and other days he's just very chill. He just laid down. He plopped down on the floor. Looks like he's going to relax over there. So maybe we'll see him today. Maybe we won't. Okay. So, Luto. First 2.5 hours, intriguing. Not great. Not awful. It's not the kind of horror that you're thinking of if you're thinking, oh, it's Resident Evil and you're going to tear through armies of mutated monsters and mold men and zombies, right? No, nothing like that at all. It's psychological horror. It's got a suspenseful build. Hopefully the second half of the game is good and we get some kind of fun stuff going on and or explanations. And I will be finishing it next week. Okay? Cool. So our first contribution of the day came in, but it is some currency I've never seen before. What is that? It is from Iditri Rajan. Did a 40 don't know what super chat. It says, can you please try 9 sols? Heard it's good. 9 sols? That sounds familiar. Is that on Steam? 9 sols. Came out in May of last year. Yeah, I heard of this. This is basically, it's a platforming adventure game, right? It's supposed to be similar to, it has Sekiro parries, okay? But it has platforming and action kind of similar to like Metroidvania. So it's like a hand-to-hand combat Metroidvania that's more challenging. It looks interesting, but it's an indie game. It's a Metroidvania style. It's got the more cartoony kind of hand-drawn artwork style. Basically, games like this don't usually resonate with my audience. This has absolutely nothing to do with the game at all. In fact, I would almost tell you I'd probably like a game like this. I like this style of game. But when I've tried games like this on streams, they never worked. People always tell me that they're boring or, oh, it's too long, it's too grindy. So Yeah, Nine Souls, interesting game, looks good. That was the music playing from it, but it's not gonna be something that I'm gonna probably be checking out, okay? It was Indian rupees, it's the equivalent of 46 cents. Wow, so this first super chat of the day is so small, it actually doesn't even register enough to put it on the leaderboard. I can't even put it on the leaderboard because it's not $1. Wow. Orange Man Good says, "Can we try playing Portal?" I love Portal. I did do a playthrough of Portal many years ago. I don't know if you're aware. If you go to DSPGaming here and you go to the playlist tab and you click on the magnifying glass, you type in Portal, you'll see I did both a Portal, both a playthrough of regular Portal over 10 years ago. And then I did a playthrough of Portal 2 when it was a brand new game a few years before that. That was a co-op playthrough. Okay. So, yeah, here it is. Portal from PC. And this was direct capture. I did do a direct capture playthrough of it in July 28th, 2014. There you go. July 28th, 2014. That's when I did it. So 11 years ago, direct capture. Probably that was what that was the summer I moved here. Oh, yeah. This was an earlier playthrough of mine right after I had moved across the country. Yep. What's hilarious is this is when I didn't know anything about PC stuff. And basically, I had just gotten my new PC, I believe. And I go to play Portal and I say, okay, this should be with all the settings maxed out. But then I go into like the adjustments and I can't figure out why does it say shadows are on medium and all this. And then people in the comments said, yeah, you were running DirectX 8.0. So this is, you don't have all the options. You need to have DirectX 9.5 in the launch options. Remove this, remove that, do this, do that. It's like, oh. PC woes, even back then, 11 years ago, right? Always had problems with PC stuff. So, anyway. So, yeah, I did play Portal, and it's a great game. Maybe one day I would play it again. Portal is an outstanding game. Very fun puzzler. Great plot, too. Really well written. Okay. All right, guys. So, the other thing I'd like to talk about is GTA 4, which returned to stream last night as a late night stream. So, FYI, we are currently doing a playthrough of GTA 4 with mods on PC. These mods have added a ton of different things to the game. Oh, I hate when it does this. Including, here it is. Look at all these mods. Oh, wow. So basically, there's like a ridiculous amount of mods that were added to the game. So many. If you take a look at the playthrough, if you look at the description of the video, you'll see a ridiculous amount of mods there listed, and those are the mods that I'm using for the playthrough. But in a nutshell, lighting, shading, textures, character models, gameplay tweaks, including how the cars drive, the behavior of pedestrians, the kind of people walking around and their interactions, gang behaviors, some combat tweaks, et cetera, et cetera. There's just a ton of changes to the game that make it look and behave pretty differently. Okay, so yeah, it's a great playthrough so far. I'm basically about halfway through the game. You know, we're firmly into what is it, Algonquin? No, what's it called? What's the main island called? Well, we call it Manhattan Island in real life, but I forget what it's called. Maybe it is called Algonquin in GTA 4. So we have unlocked the safe house there, and we are doing missions there. We're doing the Dwayne missions and / Playboy X missions. We're doing the missions for the paper company, which is probably the CIA. It's never really explained. We did some corrupt cup missions. We did some corrupt cop missions. And I believe we still have to do the Packy missions. We haven't done any of those yet. And I think one or two other things. So we're right in the midst of the middle of the game. Okay. If I remember correctly, Once you're done with the missions there, you then get forced into missions in the third and final island, which is for the mafia and stuff like that. And that's when you get heavily into the bad ending plot and all of that. So we're basically into the second half of the game as of now. I think we're like 12 parts in, something like that, which is around like 14, 15 hours of gameplay. Makes sense for the length of the game. So last night was the first time we ever played the game on a late night stream. And you might say, well, why was it on a late night stream? You had it as a daytime stream up to now. Well, we did. But what happened was, after about, 3 streams, the interest fell off. The last time that I played it as a day stream last week, the attendance was way down. The engagement was way down. People actually weren't even really talking to me. And the support was also slow. We didn't even hit $100 of support. I think we were at like 60 or something like that. And that was it for the whole stream, something crazy like that. So because of that, I said, I guess you guys have lost interest, and we have enough games now going on that we need these daytime slots for games that people are going to be more interested in. So what we did is we shifted stuff around, shuffled the deck per se, and we made GTA 4 a night stream. And I was curious to see how it would perform. Now, throughout this playthrough so far, I've gotten this lingering question. Phil, will you do the DLCs? Because The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony are great DLCs, and we'd like to see you play them. So I did look into it, and I had only played those DLCs once ever. Way back in the day, I did The Lost and Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony during my original playthroughs of GTA 4, which I think I did in like 2012, something like that. And I've never done them again. Even though I replayed this game 6 years ago, we didn't do the DLCs then. Okay? And if I remember correctly, the reason was, similarly to what had happened here, the interest had fallen off. We got about halfway through the game, people didn't care as much anymore. So I did finish the main game, but then we didn't do the DLCs because there just wasn't enough interest. So the answer was, so far, I'll do the DLCs if the main playthrough does well. If the main playthrough doesn't do well and falls off, then we're not doing the DLCs. So obviously we had a stream where we didn't hit the goals, and the audience was saying it was boring. So I said, all right, then I guess we're not doing them. But let's at least finish the main game. Let's make it a night stream. Now, what I told everyone was the premise is this: if we make it a night stream and people say, okay, well, we're going to come and engage and support with it because we're sad that, you made it a night stream and maybe we wanted to see the DLCs. Maybe it was just a one-off bad day. If that does happen, then I'll make it a day stream again and we'll give it a second shot. So last night we did GTA 4, good progress, a lot of good missions done, some of the tougher stuff of the game as well in the main island. Like I said, the main Manhattan Island has some challenging missions. Got 2 different sports cars. Got a Dodge Viper and a Corvette. Of course, in this game, they're called like the Banshee and the Coquette. And as well as used a lot of bikes, drove around on bikes a lot. But good stuff, good progress in the game. And the audience showed up, engaged, and supported. We exceeded the support goal, and people were talking the entire night. So it was basically the opposite of what had happened the last time I played this on a day stream. That's a good sign. All right? So basically, we're halfway there. If this happens again, if we have another night stream and the game does well, then I will bring it back into the daytime rotation, and we'll consider it again for the DLCs if people continue to show up, engage, and support with it. So let's see what happens. We got one more stream next week where we'll play it on a night stream, and we'll see how it does. Now, some people are like, oh, it's out of the rotation. I don't see it in the schedule. Well, that's because this is a weird short streaming week for me. I'm only streaming today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. I'm off Thursday and Friday. I come back on Saturday for an extended streaming week. All right? So FYI, it will be on a night stream next week. It's just that the schedule, it's so far out. We're not there yet. I can't list it on the schedule. The schedule covers the next 5 days. Okay. But GTA 4 will be in the mix, next week as a night stream, probably Saturday night when I come back from my break. That's probably what we'll do. Okay. Cool. So if it goes well, then we'll make it a day stream again, and we'll see how it goes. And if it does well again there, then maybe we'll even do the DLCs. Okay. To be honest, I would like to do the DLCs. Why? I've only done them once ever. So I've only played them once. I don't, Ballad of Gay Tony, I've only experienced once. I think I remember liking it, but it was like 13 years ago. So, hopefully it will do well, and maybe we'll be able to do those again over the course of the summer. I guess we'll see what happens. Okay? All right. There you go. I'm being asked, is there a PayPal Frozen Tips update? Nope. I told you guys, if there's an update on those frozen tips from Friday night, I will let you all know. I would like nothing more than to say, hey, the review is over. The tips have been released. Let's count them towards a stream and let's get some goals hit. It hasn't happened. They're still frozen in limbo. There's nothing I can do about it. Like I said, sadly, the last time this happened, it took them like a month to review the tips that were frozen, and they did release them all at once this last Saturday when I was off. So I don't know what's going on, but it might take a while, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get it or not. So I'm not really going to talk about it. If you guys keep bringing it up, there's no point. I'll let you know when there's an update. I received a $2 tip, and someone says, I was watching your Sega CD playthrough of Make Your Own Video in excess. I legit laughed hard at your commentary and your songs that you came up with. Any chance you'll use some of that stuff you sang as pre-stream music, or at least your Funny Moments playlist? Thank you again. It made my morning. So let's see. That one I'm trying to remember. Is that the one where I sang the song, My Dick is Bent Slightly to the Left? Is that the song? Or what? Or was it the one, Everybody Fuck Now? I'm not kidding. That's what we did back then. Everybody fuck now. Dun, 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 dun. Or, my dick is bent slightly to the left. My dick is bent. Oh yeah, my dick is bent. That's the kind of stuff we used to do. And it was good, and it got views, and people liked it, but that was definitely a different time and a different era over a decade ago. Now things have changed. Now you make potty humor like that, and everyone is very upset with you. And they say that you're an awful person and a terrible role model. There you go. So anyway, will I ever do that for highlights or whatever? I mean, maybe one day we'll go back and we'll do a retrospective. We haven't done one in a while, right? We go back and you guys could nominate some stuff from my past that I can react to. And that'd be funny. Would I be doing that in like highlight clips and stuff? No. Why? Because it's actual real music that all you do is you can change the lyrics and do karaoke over it. But because it's real music in the background, those videos get claimed on YouTube and or blocked in certain territories. So anything that's real licensed music, it's just not possible to do anything with anymore. Back in the day, YouTube didn't care about that, and you could do whatever you wanted, and it worked. And then over the years, YouTube just slowly applied this ridiculous AI-powered, copyright-matching, nonsensical formula to all the content. I mean, that's why there's entire streams and playthroughs of mine that are muted or missing. I did a rockathon where I played Rock Band an entire stream. The entire thing is muted on YouTube. You can't watch it. It's completely worthless. Wow. Right? So, I mean, you can't do that crap anymore. It sucks. It's like you had this artistic stuff and it's been lost to time. Like there's no posterity for it because YouTube just erases it all because of greed and money. So, yeah, thank you. First tip of the day, $2. Thank you so very much for that. All right, so now let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. The reason we're all here, money. Of course. You don't think that we're all here just to have fun and enjoy each other's company and play games and money. I need money. That was actually from one of the Sega CD. That was the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch one. I need money. All right. So, hope that you all are enjoying today's show so far. If you are, I would ask if you could please support the content in any way that you see fit. But notably, there are some ways that you can actually support financially. And if you do that, I'll give you a shout out. I'll put you on the leaderboard, and we will work towards hitting goals for rewards. As you can see, there's a leaderboard at the bottom of your screen that counts things such as subs, memberships, super chats, and the like. And that is cool that people, support my content so much that I make a living doing this. And thank you so much to those who do support the content and allow me to be successful. So, our goal today, $150 as always. We're at 83 out of 90 goals hit. When we hit 90 goals, it will be DSP Tries It, Shake and Go, a local fast food chain that does things like gourmet burgers, sandwiches, wraps, and more, some cool, unique sides, and milkshakes. So I would like to try this place out. I've never had this place before, ever. And I feel like the reason that this would be fun is because it's not one of these national chains that these days have been so played out and lost their originality. Like, for example, the other day, someone said to me, Phil, are you going to be trying out the new Wednesday Addams menu at Wendy's? they're going to have a Wednesday Addams tie-in meal because if you're not aware, in early August, Wednesday, the Netflix series is continuing with season 2. So it's like a promotional tie-in. And I said, oh, that sounds neat. Why don't we do that? Let me look up this meal. And I go to look it up, and it's 10 nuggets, which you can get right now, a small fries, which you can get right now, a Frosty with a special topping, which all it is a flavored sauce, nothing else different, and randomized dipping sauces that you can't choose and they won't tell you the flavors of. So let me get this straight. You want me to go to your restaurant and pay you money to not give me what I want? You're going to give me random stuff that I don't even know if I'm going to like, and I'm supposed to eat this for my meal. Really? Seriously? You're not joking. Last time I checked, if you're going to spend money on food, you want to be sure it's food you're going to like so you're not wasting your money. How many people are going to go to Wendy's and be like, I want this meal, and they give you 2 sauces and you taste them both and they're disgusting? What if one is like a spicy sauce and you don't like spicy, or one is like way too sweet or sour? You're like, oh, why can't you choose the sauces? Why can't they say, so there's going to be a spicy one, a sweet one, a fruity one, I don't know, and one that's like, tastes like pepper, right? So you can choose. No, you just get randomized sauces. Well, does this sound like a good idea? By the way, literally not a new food item on that menu. It's the same nuggets, the same fries, the same Frosty, just squirt a tiny bit of sauce on top of the Frosty and randomized sauces. Oh, here's the Wednesday Addams menu. How about this one, Wendy's? No. How about you actually offer new food items and you have some originality and just, effort, and you stop trying to rip off your dumb customers? Because that's all it is. What they're saying with this meal is you customers are dumb. You'll buy anything. No. I'm not going to buy that meal, and I'm not going to partake in your bullshit, okay? I'm not. Instead, I'm going to do a local business that I've wanted to try for a while, and I've driven by it a bunch of times. I'm going to give them my business and give them a shot. Okay. So that's the next DSP tries it when we hit 90 support goals. We're at 83 out of 90. So 7 more to go. If we get a big rallying of support in the next 3 days, we could do it this week. But chances are we probably aren't going to hit 90 goals by the time that Wednesday passes. So probably it's going to be this weekend at some point that we're going to be doing it, because we'll hit 90 goals by then. So we'll have to see. But hopefully we will hit all of our goals today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. That'll put us in line to do it within 1 more goal. So maybe we could do it on Saturday when I return from my days off. Okay? Cool. So thank you in advance to anyone who supports my content. Now remember, today it's Donkey Kong Bonanza continuing. So there are special animations today for Donkey Kong Bonanza if you either do a $20 tip, a $20 super chat, if you gift 4 subs at once, or if you gift 7 memberships at once. They're all equivalent to around $20 of support. And if you do that, I will play you a special banana-themed animation as well as a sound effect tied with that. I've even been known to play them twice or more in celebration of support. So please support the stream today. Let's get our first $20 contribution to see some bananas on the stream. Very nice. Okay, let's do some shout-outs. We have Spidermark86 who did a £5 super chat. Now, apparently both the dollar and the pound have been fluctuating recently, so I'm curious to see what the actual value is of that. Let's take a quick look. Last time I checked, a pound was worth $1.34. And it still is. So the £5 is $6.68. Okay. Thank you for a $6.68 super chat, Spider Mark. And he says, this is as much as I can spare. I'm sorry if it's small. You never have to apologize. If you're contributing, I want anyone to ever be like, oh my goodness, I wish it was more. I'm sorry. No. Everything is appreciated. That is how I have remained successful over the years. It's not one person is coming to the stream and financing the whole thing. It's crowdfunding. It's everyone working together because they like my stuff and they come and support me, whether now how big or small. It's everyone working together. So thank you so very, very much for that. I appreciate that very much. And thanks for stopping by, Spider-Mark. Okay. I received a $5 tip from Jason. Let's get an animation for Jason and let's see what Jason has to ask. Are you going to play Lost Soul Aside for PS5? I cannot wait for your playthrough of Pokemon Legends ZA. Have a nice day, Phil. I followed Lost Soul Aside many months ago. I want to say that it was presented at like either like the Game Awards or maybe it was one of those other digital presentations that one of these companies did. I can't remember, okay? But it looked okay, and then I think didn't it get delayed at one point? So I guess it is coming out, but no, at this point, I'm not interested in it. Right now, I'm juggling Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, GTA 4 with mods, Luto, which we're going to finish quickly, but we're about to try out Tony Hawk, and then at the end of the first week of August, we've got the new Mafia game. So I'm not really caring too much about Lost Soul Aside. I don't think it's a big deal, honestly. I don't hear anyone really talking about it. It doesn't seem to be a game that's getting much buzz. If it ends up being a hidden gem and it's good, then maybe I'll play it down the line, but I'm not too interested in it, okay? Mozzie has done a $2 super chat. This is all I can afford. Please forgive me. Again, Mozzie is trying to buy into this, but I just said that you never have to apologize. It's all good, and I appreciate every contribution. Thank you to Mozzie for $2. Thank you so much there. NVL Roy did a $2 super chat and says, are you more excited for Resident Evil 9 or Silent Hill F? Here's the thing. I like both series. I do. If you were to ask me what are the most essential survival horror franchises, if I was going to play survival horror and get into it, what should you play? Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Sorry, that's always going to be my answer. Yeah, there's other great franchises that everyone knows, but Resident Evil and Silent Hill are the two big ones, right? So, I'm excited for both, okay, to be honest. Now, am I more excited for one over the other? Well, in regards to Resident Evil has continued on and seen a revival ever since the release of Resident Evil 7, where it kind of rebooted the series to be more of a first-person survival horror experience rather than over-the-shoulder third-person, and it changed it back to be more scary and more interesting, but at the same time, it kind of went off the rails with the plot where you had this mold man plot and stuff. Kind of weird compared to previously what it had been, but it's been good. I still like the games. I think 7 and 8 were good games, okay? But in addition to those, you've also had reboots, right? We've had the remakes of, remakes. We've had remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3 and 4, and now apparently the rumor is they're making 1 again. They're actually working on Resident Evil 1, a true reboot. Unlike the one that they made that was just like an HD upgrade with some tweaks, this one's going to be a redesigning of the game from the ground up like they did with 2 and 3 and 4, okay? So, I'm excited for that. In the regards to Silent Hill, the only content we've been getting out of Silent Hill is the Silent Hill 2 remake. Outside of that, we've had nothing, right? We had that Silent Hill The Message game, which was just a spin-off 3-hour game, throwaway freebie that wasn't very good, right? So in regards to Silent Hill, right? We've been asking for new Silent Hill content for years. Originally, it was supposed to be Hideo Kojima was going to make Silent Hills. Then that all fell apart and got canceled. And then we didn't really hear much else. And then all of a sudden, Bloober Team's remaking Silent Hill 2. They did. It was great. So now Bloober Team is working on making Silent Hill 1. Okay? So all that's excellent. But finally, for the first time in an incredibly long time, we're going to get a new Silent Hill game. Now, of course, a lot of people are skeptical. Why? Because this Silent Hill is set in Japan. It has different tones and vibes than previous Silent Hills. Is it going to be similar, or are they going to change a lot? I don't know. And I think a lot of people may actually be skeptical, right, of this game. And is it going to be good? Are they going to change too much? And then it's not going to feel like Silent Hill anymore, and now Silent Hill has changed and people are upset. I don't know. But I am excited for it regardless. I want more Silent Hill content. So I'm excited for Silent Hill F. I'm excited for Resident Evil 9. They both are looking interesting to me. Am I more hyped for one over the other? If anything, I am more excited that if Silent Hill F is good, that we'll get a revival of Silent Hill games that are new, not just remakes, but actual new games, new content. That would be exciting to me. So hopefully it does work out. Hopefully Silent Hill F is great. It sells, it catches on, and then we'll get more survival horror content. You know what? These things come in waves and fads. At one point, survival horror was all the rage, and then it kind of went away. Then it kind of half came back. If Silent Hill F is doing well and Resident Evil is doing well, you very well may see a surge, an increase in survival horror content again, which I would love. Survival horror is some of my favorite stuff I've ever done as a content creator on the internet. I like it, and I'd like more. I wish we had more of it. We just don't have a lot of it these days, right? And then when they try, like when you get a game like Callisto Protocol, or even when EA decides to revive Dead Space, it doesn't seem to catch on, right? Sad. Okay, so anyway, I'm excited for both. I don't think I'm more excited for one more than the other, but I do think the potential that if Silent Hill comes back to full capacity with new games, that's more exciting because it's something we don't have. We already have Resident Evil still going strong, right? Okay. NVL Roy loved the response, so I'm glad you liked it. Let's see here. Someone tipped $2 says, how did you manage to get GTA 4 mods installed? I'm trying right now. It's a nightmare. Hope you'll do DLCs. We'll do what I can to get you to play them again. So what you're saying is you'll support the GTA streams. I'm glad to hear that. GTA 4 with mods is annoying. There's no easy way to do it. There's no mod pack that will self-install. You have to manually override. You have to manually patch. It took a long time to do, and then even following it step-by-step instructions from the people who made the mods, they don't work. Then you have to find out what went wrong because their instructions were actually incorrect, which is hilarious. They made the mods and gave you wrong instructions. But yeah, it's just not easy. You got to work. I worked with two separate people at two different times to try to get them working. And finally I did. And even now they're not all working. Like, no lie, some of them don't work when I boot the game up. It says right there, oh, error, some of the stuff didn't load. So I don't even know exactly what mods are working and what aren't. That is true. They're making an Alien Isolation sequel all these years later, which is insane to think. 10 years later, they're making a sequel, right? Stupid. What month in 2025 do I think Hollow Knight Silk Song will release? I don't know. Remember, the whole idea, but the reference made was that Silk Song will be running on this new Xbox handheld that's coming out later this year, and it'll be a launch title for it. So that means it has to come out at least by then. And that's what, October, November? I can't remember exactly what they said for the date for that. So I don't know. But I'm interested in it. People want me to play it. I'll play it. Okay. Oh, Jasper, careful. Careful, buddy. Be careful. I don't want you tripping over the wires. Okay. All right. Oh, the Rockathon's not muted anymore? Spawncular says he was watching it. It's not muted. Well, that's good news. People were telling me that when they tried to watch the Rockathon that it had been muted and they couldn't watch it anymore. Did I have a version with the music in it? And I was like, I have the raw file somewhere, but it sucks if I re-upload it. They're just going to mute it again anyway. Maybe it got unmuted. Maybe what happened is they unmuted it, but now it's claimed. If that's the case, that's great. At least people can watch it and enjoy it. It's Jasper Kitty Boy. What's going on, Jasper? How are you today, buddy? See, he's been out and about. He's been around the office the whole day. How are you? What's going on, buddy? Here we go. What's up, your future stepdad? How you doing today? Welcome. Very nice. Okay. So, I guess now, do you want to talk about this thing that I know nothing about? So how about this, guys? You guys tell me what's going on, because a few days ago in chat, I saw people saying something about me having a strike on my channel. Like, people were saying, you have a strike. We know about the strike. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not on strike. And then people were like, no, it's a strike on your channel. And I was like, huh? And I just ignored it because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And now you guys are saying that there's something going on with someone saying that I have a strike. And I want to hear it from you guys because you know better than me. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So I'm sure people will explain in a moment. But in the meantime, Mr. Mark just did a €5 super chat. Says, good evening from Germany. I'm not into chatting, but I like watching your content. Do you have a favorite movie adaptation from a game? A movie adaptation of a game? I mean, we've only just recently started to see that come out and not be bad, right? Like previously you'd say, oh, remember the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s? Or remember Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Or remember the Resident Evil movies that only had a very small reference to each Resident Evil game, but the plot is nothing like Resident Evil? All that stuff, right? So, yeah. People are saying Keemstar made a tweet. Really? Okay, let's take a look. I don't know anything about this. This is interesting. This is all news to me. I don't know anything about this. You said it's Keemstar's Twitter? It's not Lolcall Live's Twitter. It's Keemstar's Twitter. Let's see. It's nonsense. Do you guys not understand, like, bait content? Seriously. Do you not understand bait content? Here we go. Ready? What's hilarious is I don't even think I can even make that face. Let's see. You can tell this is an AI thumbnail. Here we go. Can I even make that face? How do I don't think my mouth opens that much. It's obvious AI thumbnail, right? So DSP got a strike and I'm helping him. Do you not see all the question marks? You see these question marks? Whenever you see a question mark like this, it means it's bait. It means all they're going to do on the show is they're going to talk about it. I'm looking at the wrong camera. They're going to talk about it and say, hey, did it happen? Instead of saying, hey, it happened and here's all the evidence and here. It's bait. It's a bait show. They basically have nothing to talk about tonight. So they're bringing up my name to have something to talk about. So why are they saying this? Like, what brought this on? Does anyone know? Like, why are they saying that? Doody Streams says I have a channel strike. Well, we all know that everything that Doody Streams says is 100% factually confirmed and true. There's never been an instance ever where Doody Streams has done something that's false or said something that was untrue about me. Never. Doody has never lied or exaggerated or extrapolated or made something up for personal gain and views. Never. But do you see my point? My point is thus, I said this weeks ago and I'll say it again. This weird vortex revolves around me. I don't create the vortex. I don't control the vortex. I want nothing to do with the vortex. I've disavowed it, right? I want nothing to do with any of this nonsense. But they leech daily off of me. Okay? Every single day. They need me. Without me, there's nothing going on. They have no content. They have no lives. They have no personalities. They have to just basically every day make content out of me. So when I was gone for a week, it was like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of the Sahara and I'm so thirsty and I'm looking everywhere and I can't find a drop of water anywhere. I'm so dehydrated, right? So what it is now is I come back and now all of a sudden it's like, well, now we have to try to hyper focus on this, even though this was almost a month ago now, right? We've already moved on. I'm already back 2-3 weeks. Already kept making great content. Things are great, right? But they're still like hanging on this nonsense that Phil was gone for a week. So what was it? What was the reason? You'll never know because I'm never going to tell you. If one day I so choose to tell you about my personal life and things going on in it that aren't part of all of this, then you'll know. Otherwise, you'll never know. And that's my prerogative to have a private life. I have the ability to do that. And you should respect that. If you don't, you're an obsessed, freakish, mentally broken weirdo who should be committed. or at very least seek professional help because you're a danger to yourself and society around you. Okay? It's that simple. If you're hyper fixated and hyper focused on someone and you just want to know everything about them, then you're messed up. That's obsession. And that's not normal behavior. Now, there's some people who want that because they get content out of it. If I obsess about Phil, every piece of content I make about him gets views from weirdos and then I make money, right? It's just messed up. Like I said, I really do feel like it's grifting today. It's not like it used to be. There actually used to be legit, like, obsessed people. Now it's just obsession, crazy obsession. All right. Anyway, so in regards to all of this, what's happening is people are trying to figure out, I guess, why I was gone for the week, even though it's none of anyone's business. And I already told you guys, you're not going to hear the answer. There's absolutely nothing going on in any of this regard whatsoever. Okay, nothing. So everything these people are saying is completely falsified and fake and nonsense. Lolcow Live is baiting. There's a bunch of question marks because they actually don't know anything, and all they're going to do is sit there and they're going to talk about, does Phil have a strike? Why do people think he has a strike? Well, let's watch this guy who said it, and let's watch that guy who said it. Now, if he has a strike, what does that mean? How does that affect his channel? How could something be helped? Could we help him if he had a strike? Could he reach out to us? Could we reach out to him? It's going to be a fluff episode of nothing. It's going to be a fluff episode of nothing, right? There's nothing there. There's no substance to it because they don't know anything. They don't know if I have a strike. They don't know. They know nothing. How would they know, right? And the thing is, KEEMSTAR has access to talk to me whenever he wants. He can message me. I can message him. We have a direct line of contact. It's not like it used to be where we were hard to reach each other and we were fucking with each other, acting like we couldn't reach each other. No, if we have something to talk about, we can talk to each other right now. He didn't reach out to me. So obviously, this isn't anything I even need to be involved in. This is just a bait episode. Okay, really, it's a 100% a bait episode, which is fine. Let them do it. I don't care. I'm not involved in it. But I don't know. None of this is true. None of it whatsoever. There's no strike. No, I'm not involved in any kind of problems on YouTube whatsoever. We're talking about anyone about getting anything fixed. Nothing. There's nothing going on. I don't know where people are getting this nonsense from because, again, it's just wild speculation based on the fact that people are obsessed with me. And anyone else who's a creator can take a week off and no one really cares, especially because I was back as soon as I could be back. It wasn't like I took a month off unannounced and everyone was missing me and like, what the hell happened? Now Phil's not making content anymore. I was gone for a week. I came back. I've been making my content regularly again with no problems whatsoever, right? So why is anyone still talking about this? How is it even anyone's business? It's not. But the people who obsess on it, I'm not even talking about it anymore, right? Like we've moved on. But these weirdos can't let it go because this is content for them, right? They're nuts. They're fucking weirdo obsessed freaks. So they need to know. No, you don't. You don't need to know. And you're never going to know. You can make up as much as you want. You're not going to know. That's too bad. I got a $2 tip. This is the same guy who was talking about the InXS Sega CD playthrough again. He says, it was your parody of InXS's Not Enough Time. You said not enough time for all the dicks that I suck. This is pure gold. I laughed good. Reacting to that playthrough would be awesome. It made me put the rest of your Sega CD videos on a playlist to watch later. Hope you have an awesome day. Yeah, that's a classic series. Me doing all the Sega CD stuff is really good because it was really bad. Like the stuff is bad. It's terrible. And the gimmick was, oh, look, it's FMV on a CD. But none of it was good. It was all trash. And it's fun to make fun of it. So you'll enjoy it. You got to watch Slam City, Scottie Pippen's Slam City. If you watch I think one of them was called Way of the Warrior or something like that. It's like a hand-to-hand combat game. That's hilarious. Oh, I think at one point I did a full playthrough of both Night Trap and what was the other one? The one with all the cameras and it has like the Haim brother or the Corey Haim and Corey Feldman in it. I can't remember what that one's called. So those are all great. Those are all comedy gold. I hope you enjoy them. Here you go. I got a $2 tip. This person says, it's just like with soap opera characters. Some people will obsessively hate or stan them. It's a big thing in both female and gay circles for some reason. There you go. So I guess you're either female or you're homosexual, and that's why you hyper focus on me and you obsess about me and you think about me 24/7, and you need to know every single aspect of my life at every moment, despite the fact that you're not entitled to, nor do you deserve that information, nor will you ever have it. You just can't stand the fact that you don't know everything about Dark Side Phil. That's right. Oh, they've done that already. Jay Kuma says, next thing you know, they'll be talking about how you changed Jasper's cat food. They already did. Don't you remember? Don't you remember? I make a passing mention about going to a vet, or that Jasper at one point had some issues with like his urinary tract, so he changed his diet. They talk about that. They literally do. That's not even an exaggeration or a joke. They did talk about that, and they did make it a topic like that was something important, right? Like a cat owner has a cat. The cat has an issue. I just casually mention it in passing on a random stream, and it becomes a big hyper-focused drama controversy for them. Seriously. Yeah, exactly. I'm like their Truman Show. They're just so bizarre. But again, there's some people, okay, who the reason that they do it is because they make bank on it. That's why they do it. It's not because they actually care about me or anything like that. They just know that the more that they know and talk about me, there's this weirdo community on the internet of just fucked people. Their heads are split. You know what I'm saying? Their brains are snapped. And they will eat up any piece of information about me, true or not, that is even spoken. I mean, 99% of what's said on most of these channels, like Duty, is completely fake. It's 100%, or excuse me, 99% fabricated. It's 1% truth, 99% nonsense, but people don't care. They just want the nonsense. That's all they're looking for, is the drama. Of course, everything is always spun into something negative and toxic. They say I do Nazi salutes. I've never done a Nazi salute. They say I wear a Nazi hat. I never worn a Nazi hat. It's all the crap that they make up constantly. No, I've never played Deep Rock Galactic. We looked into it, but I've never played it. Isn't it good I'm getting coverage? I've explained this before. I do not benefit from drama content. I do not. Okay? Who would I benefit from if I made drama content? A completely different audience than the audience that I want. I want an audience that comes by to hang out, enjoy my company. I enjoy your company. We have a good back and forth conversation, social aspect to the streams. That's awesome. That interactivity we have. I want to play games, enjoy games, rage at games, whatever it is, and we share that live experience together. I want to do chill streams. That's the kind of content that I want to make. And I've been successful at doing it, and I am successful at doing it right now. Actually, this is one of the best years in my history I've ever had so far. 2025 is stacking up to be one of my best years ever when it comes to content, profits, and all of this. So thank you for that. And what have I done this entire year? The kind of content I want to make. I've taken myself out of drama, and it works. The only time that I would benefit from drama is a different audience of drama content viewers. Hence the Kino Casino audience, the Lolcow Live audience. There is an audience for that. I know there's an audience for that, but that's not who I am. That's not the content I want to make. It seems like endlessly there's people who want to pull me into that vortex. They want me to be a part of their community. They invoke my name. They try to involve me in their stuff. They're constantly attempting to get me to be in that level of stuff because, number one, they see profit. They see that when people do this drama content about me, they make bank. So they think, hey, if we get DSP involved himself, this is going to be genius level. We're going to have so much. But take a look at what happened with Kino Casino. All right, let's analyze this fairly and objectively. The first thing we did together was us working on the Rich documentary React, and it worked. Did it not? I had my own things to say. They had their own things to say. It was completely different stuff. It all combined to be one amazing React. That was a really great piece of content that we did about a year ago. If you remember, it was early August of last year that we did that. That was outstanding, amazing collab. All right. I appeared on their show a couple of times. That worked. And then immediately, once that little bit of feeling of, oh, this is fresh and new, once that dies out, it doesn't work anymore. Because the truth is, I don't care about drama content. I could, and I could be good at it. I could be as good as these guys of ripping other people a new asshole and being mean to people constantly and degrading myself and others. I don't want to make that content. Do you get it? I had many opportunities over the years to do it. I saw over 10 years ago that content was getting exciting and people on the internet were loving it and it was becoming monetizable and everyone was talking about it and, oh, you should do it. I didn't want to do it. I said, but you understand I'm a gamer. I don't want to do that stuff. I don't. You know, is there opportunity for popularity there? Is there money to be made? Yes, there is. But I don't want that for myself or for my family or for my online community. I just don't want that. And some people don't respect that wish. Some people instead say, well, too bad we want you involved in it because we benefit from it. Well, I don't care. I don't care what benefits you. I care about what benefits myself, my family, my business, my viewers and fans. And this year, getting myself out of that drama sphere and focusing solely on the content that I'm working has shown that it can work. And like I said, I'm literally having one of the best years I've ever had in my entire history this year, 2025, being outside of the drama. I'm getting more consistent people coming by, watching, engaging, and supporting my content. We're hitting goals. We're doing fun marathons. Everything is working. There's a few bumps in the road here or there, but for the most part, this has been a truly successful year. I literally just said earlier on this show, okay, how crazy is it that the summertime used to be the most dead time of the year where nothing was going on. I didn't know what content to make because there was no new games. I was so reliant on new AAA releases coming out that when they didn't come out, I floundered. I would have a really slow summer and I'd be like, oh man, you got to support me because now things are slow. It's the opposite. I literally have too much to do. I haven't even played all the things people want me to do, and they're coming out to support the things I'm doing. It's exploded in a positive way. There's been a burst of positivity and support here on the streams. There you go. Are you happy now that I made a reference? A big burst. And I'm happy for it. Okay? So, yeah, it's been great. And I have no complaints. That's what I mean. I don't want to be pulled into the drama sphere. You know, I know for a fact there's people that want me involved. I'm not. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. There's no reason for me to. Again, when I do that, I'm not appealing to my core audience who's supporting me and making me successful. In fact, I'm turning them off. When I was going head first into drama with Kino Casino, my fans were contacting me behind the scenes saying, if you keep going this way, we're going to leave. You know, I've been a longtime fan of yours for 10, 15 years, but I don't want to see you do this constantly. You're doing all this drama, and it's not fun content. It's toxic. It's harmful. It's just a bunch of nonsense. We're here for games. We're here for fun, chill streams. We're here for your opinions and because we just want to hang out with you. We're not here for so you can smash this person and degrade this person and then get into an argument with this person. And that's all that certain people know. You know, that's all they know. That's all they know how to do. They're literally one-trick ponies. They do the same thing over and over, and they have an audience for it. Good for them. Seriously, good for them. But I don't want to be that. I have no aspirations to be that. Okay? I don't want to. I don't want to blow up to be a million sub YouTuber, but all I do is toxic content. I don't. I would much rather be a smaller time guy and be successful at the level I'm at and maintain and maybe have a little bit of organic growth from time to time, but I'm okay with that. But some people aren't. It's never enough for them. So by any means necessary, step on anyone's neck to get ahead. That's how they are. I've never been like that. Okay? So there you have it, you know? So yeah. Anyway, things are good right now with me. This has been one of the best years ever. I don't want to be involved in these drama circles. I'm not going to be involved in the drama circles, and things are going well. So I don't know why Lalcow Live has invoked my name and put me on their thumbnail. None of it's true. That's probably why they have a million question marks and everything, because it's not true. It's just an episode that's going to say, well, what if? Well, what if DSP has a strike? Well, what could that be from? Well, how could that affect his channel? Well, how could someone help with that? Well, how could that's all it's going to be, a what if episode. And they have the right to do that. They have the right to make that episode. That's okay. Go for it. I'm not offended. They're not saying anything negative about me there, you know? So go for it. Let them have their fun. But I'm telling you, it's not true. I have nothing to do with it. I haven't been involved with any stuff like that at all. You know? P Wad did a $2 super chat. Can we react to your 666 snake stream? Maybe someday. But I'm gonna be honest, that stream could have been a lot better. It's all fucking Review Tech's fault because he's such a dunce. Like, if he had played along and just been a sport for one fucking stream, if he could get over himself and his idiocy, it would have been a great stream. Instead, the moron starts derailing and talking about shit that has nothing to do with what the fuck we're there for because he's an idiot. He just can't help himself then be boring and stupid. So he kind of ruined it, and it just sucked. I mean, let me put it this way. That stream served its purpose. It put an end to my involvement in all the drama, and since then, I'm not involved in it. I don't care. I literally have not heard a single word out of the mouths of Kino Casino, Review Tech, or anyone since then. I pay no attention to any of it. I only know, I hear hearsay on my streams when you guys come in here and you meme stuff. I know, oh, that must be something that fucking, they said on a show or whatever, and I kind of put two and two together. But I've been completely out of the loop with all their nonsense since, and I'm happy. Like, that was what, March? So here we are 4 months later. I couldn't be happier to be out of the loop of all this bullshit, right? I love it. I love the fact that I'm out of it and I'm having a good time with everything. Someone tipped $2. I think I saw this last month. It became invibrant. I think I saw this last month. It became invibrant. No, I'm sorry. I don't think there's anything that I can make out of that one. I'm just gonna say thanks for $2. I have no idea how to interpret that, nor do I think I'm even gonna try to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Thanks for $2. Appreciate that. All right. Sometimes you just got to give up and move on. Jalen did a $5 super chat. I'm glad you're protecting your energy. Protecting your energy? I don't know what that means. And ignoring drama-filled channels. Let's have a good stream. Thank you, Jalen. I don't know about protecting my energy. It's kind of a weird way to say it. But like I've said, okay, I got distracted. I got derailed there. I didn't make my point. Allow me to make my point how I wanted to, because I didn't, okay? The point I was trying to make is this, okay? When I get involved in drama, there is an audience for it, but it's not my audience. You get it? If I do drama right now about Kino Casino, that will invoke their audience, not mine. If I do stuff about LolCal Live, that will invoke the LolCal Live audience, not mine. My audience doesn't want drama. My audience is nothing further from that. They just don't want anything to do with it. They want to hang out with me, enjoy games, and enjoy my company. That's it. So when I do the drama content, I don't see a spike in views, support, or anything from my audience. What I do see is a spike from other groups. The problem with that is once you get the attention of another group, you now have to maintain that or they go away. That's exactly what happened last year with Kino Casino. When I started doing content with them, I got the attention of their audience. Their audience started to come to my streams. They all subbed, right? They all supported for about 2 months. And then after that is I didn't want to do drama constantly. And I got into the hardcore gaming season and we were doing games and they were like, oh, this is just game stuff. We don't care about this. When's the drama? So every once in a while, I would do a little bit of drama. And then all of a sudden you see that video would get a big view boost and I get some more support and then it would go away again. So it's like 2 completely different sets of content. You understand? Like it's either drama content, lolcow style content, or it's gaming content, more intelligent content, positive social interaction. They're separate. They don't actually go together. They don't. Do you get it? They don't stick together. It's like oil and water. They separate. So you could either go with the oil or go with the water. Either one works. I want to go with what I've been doing. I don't want to do the drama stuff. Okay. So for me to be involved with that, oh, Go on Lolcow Live, be a part of their show. Why did you snake the casino? Why did you leave them? Because it wasn't working. Get it? It just wasn't. It was actually starting to become more of a detriment than a help. And I've actually been doing better being out of it now than I was before. So I'm happy that I'm out of the crap, you know. It would have been something if ideas were being come up with that were working, that it would have been stuff that I could have worked on, but also have maintained what I was doing. But it was kind of like an all or nothing battle. It was like, listen, either you go all in with drama and you abandon everything you've done for the last 17 years and you just become this lolcow on the internet, but you can bank your lolcow status and become rich, or you give up completely on the drama stuff and you just do what you've been doing. I choose to do what I've been doing. I think it's more positive. I think it's better content for the internet. I think it hurts less people. Honestly, I don't think my content hurts any people, right? I don't think so. This content that I make now, just chilling with you guys and talking about games and stuff, this doesn't hurt anyone. This is innocent, fun content that is digestible and, you know, it's not harmful in any way. So I would much rather do that than have to live with myself knowing every day I'm doing this content that I'm bullying other people on the internet and I'm talking shit and I'm insulting and harassing and going out of my way and punching at people to try to get attention for myself. I just don't want to live that lifestyle. And you know what? I will say this. For as much shit as people talk about Ethan Ralph 100% understood that, got me as a person, and essentially has, after the wrestling thing, said, that's why I'm not going to talk to Phil, because he's drama stuff and I'm not. He got that. Like, very well, he could have been like, hey, let's keep doing stuff together or whatever. But he knows 100% I want nothing to do with this shit. I just want to do game stuff. So in that regard, I mean, he respected that wish, while others seem to want to keep pulling me into their sphere and their vortex or whatever you want to call it for their own personal gain. Mozzie did a $2 super chat. When you address drama, do you think you're engaging? What are you talking about? Am I engaging the drama? It depends. Like right now, the way that I'm doing it is very factual and very calm, if you haven't noticed. Like I said, listen, the guys from Lolcow Live, they can do whatever they want. I don't care. They can talk shit about me. They can bring me up. I don't give a shit. I'm not involved in it. And you know that. Like, I'm not going to get involved in it at all. I have nothing to do with it. They have the right to do. They have question marks all over their thumbnail. I guarantee you it's going to be a what if episode or whatever. And that's fine. Let them do that. I'm not going to stand here. What would have been the wrong way to go about it is to be like, I'm so upset. How dare they? Fuck them. And you start a feud, right? But that's not me. That's not me. I don't care. Let them do what they want. Leave me alone. It's that simple. Okay? Oh, let's see. I got a $5 tip. What has been your top game so far this year? That's a tough question. There's been some pretty darn good games, mostly games no one expected to actually be good, that actually ended up being quite good. Again, for me to answer the question, what I would have to do is go through like my games history here. So, taking a look at what I've played this year so far. All right. All right, I would say, out of all the games I played this year, what are my absolute favorites? Let's see. Some of them are older games, so I can't qualify them. Like, for example, I actually really like playing Onimusha 1 because I never played it before, but that's not a new game, right? You know, and some of them wouldn't qualify. For example, the Suikoden 1 HD remake. Yeah, I loved it, but that's an old game. So I can't say, oh, that's a new game. You know, that's not a game of the year thing because that's just an old collection that makes it more modernized, right? So as for brand new games, so I would definitely say Blueprints. I would say Clair Obscur. Two outstanding games. Honestly, that's what I would say so far. I would say Blueprints, and Clair Obscur. So far, are my two favorite games of the year. That very well could change, you know? Keep in mind, we're in the midst of different playthroughs, and I don't know how they're going to go. Donkey Kong could get much better the further in we get, or it could stay the same and then I don't like it, right? Death Stranding 2 right now, I love the plot, I love the graphics, I love the music, I hate the gameplay. Overall, when I beat the game, will it feel like it was worth it to slog through the gameplay to see the most a super amazing story? Will I think that the story was better than the first one? I don't know. We're not far enough in yet. So of all the games I've played, those would be the two new games that I would say are my favorites. There's been a lot of games I've liked that are old, but those don't qualify for like, oh, what's your, game of the year style stuff? That I'm not going to qualify that for game of the year contention because they're older games. The good news is, again, unlike previous, I'm not reliant on new games to be good for me to have good content. My content is great. Right now, my mix of GTA 4 with mods, American Truck Sim, Minecraft chill streams, classic gameplay with Capcom versus SNK 2 nights, right? Continuing on with Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2. I'm good. We don't even need amazing, giant new AAA releases anymore. That's not what carries my channel. Now it's just me having fun with you guys no matter what we're playing. That's what carries the channel, and that's great, Oh, I got another $2 tip. Wow, thank you guys. I feel like we're in the third phase of your detractors. The first phase was people calling out your behavior and wanting you to change, saying you were stubborn and taking things for granted. I agree there. Then you did change. In the second phase, people came along and it was about WWE champions, trying to get you to admit that kind of stuff. And then they happened. Then that did eventually happen. And then those people kind of now left. Now you're in phase 3. It's all the grifters. With each phase, the detractors who stayed get more and more obsessed because the people who got what they wanted left. Yeah, this is 100% we're in the grifter phase. 100%. I legit don't think there's a single person out there who actually has issue with my content or what I do. I'm serious. I think it's just the meme is to crap on Phil, to say he sucks at games, to say he's a beggar, to say this and that, so that we basically have content to print money for morons who watch it. It's 100% grift. Like I said, if this was not monetizable, they would not be doing it. If there was not $1 to be made, they would not be wasting their time on it. They're only doing it because they're benefiting from very, very slow, ignorant, gullible people. And they know it. They 100% know that's their viewer base. They don't care. They say, hey, a fool and their money are easily parted. So if I make fake content about someone, as long as people eat it up and pay me for it, I'll just keep doing it. I don't even care if it's true or not. And in reality, what I think it is that a lot of people have seen me do this now. I've been making content for 17 years. I've been doing this as a job since 2011, so that's been 14 years. And they've seen me go through so much. They've seen me go through phase after phase of negativity, and you know what I'm saying? They have. So what they see now is a guy who's resilient, a guy who literally is not going to let himself be beaten by any of this shit. So the way they think of it is, well, even if I bully Phil and I make all this shit up about him, he's not going to take any action against it, and he's not going to be hurt by it because he's so resilient, nothing's ever going to happen to him, right? That's what they think. That's all I'm going to say. That's what they think. Anyway, Mozzie, how you doing? $2 super chat. You literally are a good gamer. It's all about the money. Well, yeah, now the only way that they can make me look bad at games is to literally take one clip out of context, out of an entire playthrough, and act like that's representative of the entire playthrough, right? It's take my Doom, the Dark Ages playthrough, and only take the moment where you're in a room full of explosive barrels and act like that's the entire playthrough, even though that's the one moment you can't play the game like crazy adrenaline-filled Doom, because if you do, the barrels explode and you instantly die. But say that's my whole playthrough, right? Take the one clip from Donkey Kong Bonanza where I've had difficulty, which was me trying to surf on a piece of ground over this challenging area where you have to jump over thorns and stuff. I failed at it for like 10 minutes. So take that one clip, even though the insane rest of the game I've just been coasting through. Not a lick of challenge. Everything's been insanely piss easy. And I've been saying the entire playthrough, this game's just way too easy. I think it should be harder. Take the one moment where I had difficulty, make it a meme and say, oh, that was his whole playthrough. See, he sucks. But it's not fair. It's not a fair representation. That's not true at all. You've literally misrepresented on purpose to create the meme. They don't care. They benefit from it. They get views, they profit. So why do they care? And they know that DSP is resilient and can't be hurt by this shit. You know, I'm made of fucking titanium here, and nothing's going to bring me down. So why do they, you know what I mean? Like, well, who cares? Just keep making fun of him. It just always works, right? Princess Luna did a $10 super chat and says, over a decade of doing it his way, through all the drama, mockery, and hate that would have felted most, Phil gets up and streams twice a day, being unapologetically Phil despite the detractors. Thank you, Princess Luna. Yeah, not even despite, just ignorant of it. I don't care about it. And that's the truth. Like, if I actually, spent time looking this stuff up and addressing it, there's no point, because it's all fake anyway. There's no point in addressing the nonsense. You just do your thing. Like, that's the funny part. These idiots who say I would never want to be Phil. Why? I have a great job that I absolutely love. I have great streams every single day that are great content with a great audience. That audience supports me, so I make a great living. I have a loving wife who I love and cherish and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with and I'm happy with. I live in a great house. I have a great pet. I live in a great weather. I can now afford whatever I need, right? Why wouldn't you want to be me? Because people make fun of you on the internet. Oh, no. Not people on the internet. Oh, who gives a fuck what these morons say on the internet? Phil, don't you know there's another thing going viral on social media? What the fuck do I care? I'm sitting here making a great living, having a great time. What the fuck do I care about a bunch of morons on the internet? They're the ones who are sitting there grinding away at meaningless jobs, shitty situations. Why do you think they need to make the memes and laugh at them? Because it makes them feel better about themselves and their own miserable existences. I don't sit around making fun of people all day. I don't have to, because I have a good life. Get it? Who gives a shit about the internet? You'd have to be dumb. All right, guys. Well, fun podcast. I thought that it would end up being shorter, but as usual, we end up talking about stuff that I didn't expect to be talking about. This Lolcow Live thing and people saying nonsense about, oh, they know that there's strikes and stuff. They don't know anything. They make it all up. Nonsense. But it ended up going into the second half of the show, so we had a full show. Let's end the show. Thank you for watching. There is no podcast tomorrow. None. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to focus on making big progress, trying out Tony Hawk 3 and 4. We're going to give it a lot of gameplay tomorrow. Probably, without the podcast, it's probably about 3.5 to 4 hours of gameplay. I'm curious to see if it will work. I don't know if it will. 1 and 2, I think worked because, number one, it was the first time I'd ever played those games and people were saying those were the best ones in the franchise. But even then, that game, after playing a few streams, it kind of started to wane in popularity. People got bored. I'm not convinced that Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is going to last more than a few streams, but we're going to give it a shot starting tomorrow. I hope that you'll come and hang out with me. No podcast, just a lot of gameplay. The podcast will return on Wednesday for weekending fun. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so very much. I hope that you enjoyed the show. And I will see you all on Wednesday for a week-ending episode. Peace out, and I will see you all then.